I've had so many messages recently, really nice, kind, positive messages. People talking about how they've enjoyed my videos and stuff. Thank you very much for all their messages. Very grateful that you took the time out to even send me the messages. It's great to know that people seeing them, enjoying them. And a few people have mentioned, oh, it would be great to come on a walk with you, and or it felt like they was on a walk with me in a video. So I thought today, considering I've walked all the way to the back of this forest and I've got to walk all the way back the other way, we could you could come on a walk with me and we can ID some evergreen trees, because that's what I'd normally be doing anyway. Is I come out and have a rant, and then off screen what I'd like to do is I'm gonna probably try and find some evergreen trees and keep a little mental note of them, so I can come back at other times and we can see what else we can forage and find along the way. And just before I started recording this, a deer dashed out the bushes right past me all the way down there. So you never know, we might like see some special wildlife. So come with me and we'll have a little frolic through the forest. Oh, first things first, it is freezing. Oh, and it's time for a cup of tea. Sometimes get comments, people say, what do you take with you? What have you got in your backpack? And there's nothing special going on here. When I come out to learn and to find things, first things first is you always need a cup of tea. That is essential part of exploring the great outdoors. Got to have a cup of tea. Amazing little Baby Yoda bottle, courteous of my little boy. Then I always bring a bottle of boiling water, which is probably just under boiling. I boil the kettle at home, put it in a bottle, I take that with me, and we use this for like making foraging evergreen teas and stuff like that. So I always bring a bottle of hot water with me, bottle of cold water for washing things before I eat them, because the only time I've ever actually got stomach ache from eating things from the forest is when I didn't clean them properly. Other than that, it's been all good so far. Touch wood. Back to biscuits. Got have biscuits, those are just as essential as the tea. Yeah. Fill me cups of tea, because you don't want to put it all in that one bottle. Otherwise, you'll be doomed to just be stuck with one big bottle of that tea. I like to experiment, taste all the different teas that I can find. My hairbrush for my beard. Lovely, lovely hairbrush you got there. Go see my little girl. Yes, it. Oh, of course. Probably the main essential, pocket knife. You got to have a pocket knife at all times. I've had this pocket knife, luckily, for this one. Managed not to lose it for about 3 years. Got it as a birthday present when we stayed in a yurt for a week. It was amazing, and my present was this pocket knife. So it's very sentimental, that is, to me. And that's it. A pack of hula hoops. That's all I bring with me. The mouth harp. Hold on, let me try again. I'm not an expert at this. That is it's like a forgotten ancient instrument. It's amazing. It sounds crazy. You might, if you watch like TV shows like Vikings, for example, you always hear them really unique noises in the music. That's probably what it is most of the time. It's kind of like techno, medieval techno music. Gotta have your medieval techno music. Here's my other knife. I've had this knife since I was 21 and I'm 32. I don't know how I've not lost this either, because I lose everything. This is my other knife. And that's it. A glove. I have one glove with me because, like I say, I lose everything. and you need one glove sometimes for prickly things. That's it. That's the only thing of interest. And just some toilet roll, just in case. It's never happened, but I might eat something one day where I am in dire need for some toilet roll. And I know you can use leaves. Sometimes you don't want to use leaves. Anyway, grab a cup of tea, and then we'll see what we can find. I'm really lucky. There's a old crumbling wall here, so we might get lucky and find some. They call it wall pennywort or wall pennywort, however you like to pronounce it, and that's actually a really decent. What would you call it? An edible green that's actually used in like fine restaurants and stuff, but you can find it outside. And who knows? Who knows what we'll find? It's the forest is full of treasures, the natural treasures of the world. Here's some King Alfred cakes. They're really good for starting fires. If you need to start a fire, need some kindling for fires. But more importantly, they're home for lots of insects. And creepy crawlies like to live in them. They're called King Alfred's cakes because in the 9th century there was a king called Alfred who lived when the Vikings were invading, and ultimately he fled and had to take cover in a peasant woman's home, and she asked him to keep an eye on the cakes, and well, he didn't, and they burned, and that's how that ended up getting the nickname King Alfred's cakes. Here's some wood ears. This is an edible fungi you can find all year round, and I'm assuming you can guess why it's called wood ear, because it really does look like ears. And I'll put some other pictures up of wood ear so you can kind of get a good idea of what it looks like, because this wood ear is frozen solid. And the way you can tell it's wood ear and not anything that looks like it that's poisonous is a wood ear's cup. It faces down, it grows like an upside down cup, and that's how you can tell it's wood ear. Listen how frozen that is. This, if you can see it, is lords and ladies, and you can often mistake it for sorrel, which is edible, and this Lord of Ladies isn't edible. It's actually an irritant, and it's easy to mistake it for sorrel. And the way you can tell it's sorrel is by the bottom. Sorrel doesn't have them lobes down by the stalk. It's really hard to see this at the moment because everything's frozen solid. So if I put up, can you see it? These lobes at the bottom, that means it's Lord and Ladies, not sorrel. And because that was so unclear, to the left, sorrel, edible. To the right, Lords and Ladies, irritant, not edible. Oh, it is very fresh. When you come out that forest, that is a cold, chilling wind. But the weather, I don't know about you, even if it's quite harsh, it makes me feel alive. And I thought I'd share with you this amazing view. Look at that view. The camera probably doesn't do it justice. You know what I mean? The camera never quite picks up what you're seeing, but when I stand before a beautiful view, I don't know, I just get this great feeling inside. It feels like, I'm not sure if you'd call it bliss, or it feels like almost like nostalgia. This warm, happy feeling inside. You know, yeah. Life's all about staring at beautiful views like that. This part of the forest is really abundant with ivy, so I'm going to collect some of that ivy because we use it for laundry soap because it has saponins in them, what's happening, and yeah, it's really good. With a few cooking methods, you can just turn it to laundry soap. It's simple and it works so well. We've had so many messages from people saying, oh, I've used it on my work clothes and it works, and it's just as good as the stuff in the shops, but it's natural and free, and it's just better for the environment, and it's better for you because you get to get out in that fresh air and it gives you something to collect. I really like its scientific name, Hederahelix. To me it sounds kind of like a really cool Pokemon, and if you're really interested in learning more about the ivy, check out my video that's completely dedicated to ivy. I nearly fell over then, and I'll rant and rave all about it in that video, so check that out. When you're walking through the forest, try and breathe through your nose as much as you can. Actually think about it. Think, I'm going to walk from here to there and only breathe through my nose. And it really enhances your experience of taking in the smells of the forest, the scents and smells of the forest. Here we have the yew tree, a nice young yew tree. Just made a video on that. If you didn't see it, check it out. It's amazing because the yew tree is rich with history because it can live for thousands of years, and it's really toxic. It just takes 50 of them little needles to kill a person. And it takes 2 of the berry seeds to kill a horse. Here we've got loads of frozen solid colt's foot. As you can see, it looks like a hoof, an animal's hoof. Now when the flowers come, nice pretty flowers, the flowers are edible and you can use the leaves in salads and things like that. And here's a tip as well, if you're looking for evergreen trees, come up to a place like this, a nice tall spot, and you can actually scope them out on the horizon from afar, and you can plot your journey from here. Because just earlier I was all the way over on that horizon, I was looking over to this one, and I was able to scope out, and you can see, you think, right, there's some evergreen trees over there. So it could potentially save you walking for miles in the wrong direction. Woo! This is where the wind's coming from. The ocean is that way. And whoa! Oh my god! That is face numbing. Holly trees are amazing. Look, I've walked past loads, and they've still got berries all over them, helping them support the wildlife. The holly trees are really vital food source for lots of wildlife, birds especially. And I've made a video all about the facts, mythology and folklore of the holly tree, and it was one of my more popular videos. It surprised me. It's got over 5,000 views. 5,000 people stared at my face to watch that. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Here's a stumpy little yew tree. Starting to realise how much this forest is dominated by yew trees. And someone said to me the other day, they said, "Oh, I've just started a ow, I got prickled. They've just started a bonsai yew tree." That made me think of it because it's so small. And I thought, what a good idea. And I wondered to myself, because a yew tree can live for thousands and thousands of years, I wonder if a bonsai yew tree would also live for thousands and thousands of years. It's so cold now. It's definitely time to go home in a minute. The battery on my camera's drained down like 100 times faster than it normally would. It must be the cold. But luckily for me, I've just found the highlight of my day. I was hoping to find some cedar trees, and I have. Look at them cedars. So I'm going to quickly nurse my my numb fingers and enjoy the tree of life's tea, the sacred cedar tree. The cedar tree is known as the tree of life, and this, I believe, is the western red cedar, and it's got really flat, squished out, like scale-like leaves instead of needles. And there's many variations, and I'm going to make a video all about the cedar tree soon. You can see it's got this amazing bark. Wow, yes, Lucky, look at my numb fingers. So I'm going to quickly brew up. Oh, cedar. It's probably my favourite smell. If you another way to tell it's cedar, if you squish it in between your fingers, which is really hard for me to do. I can't feel my fingers. Oh, it's probably the best smell in the world. Cedar essential oils. Oh, it's probably my favourite essential oil. Put them on an oil burner and makes the whole house smell like cedar. So, got my cedar in a cup. And cedar's full of goodness. Add my hot water. You see all that snow? Oh, just gotta let that stew for a little while. Oh, have a lie down under this tree. That's the highlight of my day, finding these cedar trees. I was really hoping to find some. Now I can take a mental note of where these trees are and come back another day. And I'll make a whole video celebrating the cedar trees, and I'll probably use these ones. And I'll make all the tutorials and how to make essential oils and tea and identification, all that too. The longer you leave it to stew, the more the water absorbs all the flavour and goodness from the cedar or whatever tea that you're making. Cedary. Oh, very nice. Oh, nice cup of cedar tea. Well, my phone's about to run out of battery, so I guess that's it for our little woodland frolic. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself, even though it's pretty cold today. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again next time.